Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever, and welcome back to another Course Creators Circle expert session. These sessions are designed to help you get to know more about your course creation and get you to know more about the tools and the tips and the tricks that we have with course creation. Now, we are joined by Mikhail from People this morning, and we're going to talk about the power of communities when it comes to course creation and how community can help nurture your students through the learning journey. Because once we've got a student, it isn't set and forget. It isn't forget that those students exist or anything like that. So Mikhail's coming in to join us today. He's from Peerboard. Peerboard is one of our referral partners. And for those of you who are using Thinkific, which I know 90% of our people would be doing, Peerboard is a native integration app with Thinkific. So for those of you who want to play along, I put the link through to Peerboard in the areas. But don't go sign up right now. Just have a play along, have a look, because Mikhail, at the very end of this session today, is going to give you the opportunity to reward you for taking action, reward you for being here, and give you a special little discount along the way. So, Mikhail, welcome to a Course Creator Circle Expert session. I'm excited to have you.
Thank you. My big pleasure being here.
Fantastic. Now, I talk to my community all the time about the power of community and encouraging students to learn along. So, tell me a little bit about you and the Peerboard story and what you've discovered and why you feel that communities are so important to the course creation journey.
Sure. So for a quick backstory, I actually was working at Facebook for almost 3.5 years. I was running messenger platform, and while doing so, I had to start a group for the developers using the platform. And it took me, I mean, I kind of quickly found out that Facebook groups are not the best tool to run your community. It was never meant to do that. It was built as an afterthought. I mean, and I love Facebook, but in the past 10 years, it just didn't do much with the product, and they don't care much about your experience as the creator, like as a business, like as a brand. And so after I left Facebook, one of the ideas I had was to rebuild that and to make it a much better experience for the brands, for the creators, and to really focus on them and not just on the end members. And that's how Peerboard was started. We are 2.5 years old now. We have a team of 20 people, and we're building the core product that you can see by the link that Linda shared. And uh, the thing we see now, and I mean, this is the feedback we get from all the customers, having the space dramatically changes the behavior of the audience and helps you to drive the loyalty and the retention for them. And that's a very big deal for a lot of types of businesses, but especially so for the creators and for the course creators that really want the members to engage more, to have high kind of completion rate for the courses, and then just to have more fun, I guess, and just have more fun around and learn more from each other. So it's very powerful from what we see.
It is very powerful, and I think that what we and look, I'm a Facebook trainer, guys, by trade, so we understand. And one of the groups that we're streaming through to today is our business group. So there's 33,000 members in there. But I remember when Facebook groups first came out, and we didn't have half the tools that we have as a creator, and even some of the frustrations we have running a 33,000 strong community inside that space is, there's still limitations about what we can do, how we can restrict, how we can do things, but even also how our people can communicate with us, and that's very, very frustrating. So as course creators, when we come through this journey, and for those of you who are brand new to starting out your course creation journey, you may not have thought about communities, but communities can come into a number of ways when you're looking at delivering your course. You can look at having a cohort-based community. You can look at having a general Q&A supportive space community. You can look at taking a series of your courses and then adding a membership and adding a community element onto that. And that's the way I do mine, or, both my marketing circle and my course creator circle membership is done. And those who want that access to the community, that's what they're paying for in those VIP bundles rather than the self-paced learning. So there are a number of ways that we can bring community along, and community taps into the social learning. So we talk about learning styles all the time. It taps into the social learner, and these are the ones who love the classroom, but because of whatever reason or time, they need to take a course online, or you're only delivering your course online. So how do you tap into those guys? And community is a great way to do that. Now, I know Mikhail's got a presentation for us today about having a look at communities and Peerboard, and we're going to jump into a bit of a demo and really get started inside those spaces. But I'd love to hear from our course creators. I know there's some people saying hello already in the chat. Let us know, what are you creating? What courses are you creating? What are you teaching? And have you considered bringing community in And bearing in mind, you have 2 community experts sitting in front of you right now. I've been doing community since 2009. Mikhail's been, behind the scenes in Facebook, now building communities with Peerboard. Ask us your questions about community today, because these sessions are what you put into it. The more you tell us, the more we can give and teach you along the way. Should we delve into that presentation before we start looking in a demo? What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do that. And let me screen share quickly.
Beautiful,
I really have a very small one. It's a very small one. I don't really want to, like overwhelm you with the slides, but I wanted to have a quick summary and show you the quick summary of how Peerboard works and what it does. And then we can jump to the demo. I really wanted to show you some examples of what is it doing. And
it's going to be awesome.
It's great, actually, the segmentation of different, the different ways to put your community together for different use cases. I really want to talk more about that, because I think that's.
I'm going to duck off camera for a minute while I go and do some social sharing of our live stream. I'm going to.
Can you hear me now? Oops. Wait.
Yes, everyone can hear you. I just ducked off camera for a second. They can hear you, right? But as soon as I duck off camera, you're ready to go. Okay, you should be right to go now.
All right.
Cancel the second screen. Yep. So you got your screen share there, but you come in and you've got a second window open. Hang on, I'll do it. There we go. Okay, you're right now.
Right. Perfect. All right. Sorry for that.
I'm going to do screen share, but I'm going to stay here for Mikhail, guys, so that he's got support in here. You're just not going to see me on camera for a minute.
Sounds good. So yeah, back to Peerboard. This is more of a presentation about Peerboard and Thinkific, but you really can use Peerboard with all the other tools. The only difference is that for Thinkific, we spent almost half a year and we built a native plugin for Peerboard to live right within your Thinkific instance and kind of complement your space with the community. So what is Peerboard? A little bit more about navigation, like integration with Thinkific, key features, case studies, and the questions. So what is Peerboard? Peerboard is a powerful community app that helps your creators, the course creators, to maximize the completion rate, like reduce churn and boost the performance, right? And it's all is done through the single kind of community space with multiple subspaces in it, and with the members being a part of that experience. It's, like I said, it's the first and only native community app for Thinkific. I mean, I guess not counting their own, which is still kind of more or less basic compared to what we have with Peerboard. And the cool thing about the Thinkific one is that it's like 3 clicks away from you having it within your Thinkific course studio, right? It's a single sign-on by design, like no extra steps. We actually pipe all the student data into Peerboard, like automatically. You don't need to do anything. So we have the enrollment data, the members and everything in Peerboard when you activate it, which is super cool. You don't need like Zapier, no other tools. You already have it all there, and it is there for you. And and we
do. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. That's one of the things that was, I know as a Thinkific expert, that was struggling with a lot of people to be able to get in and start. So single sign-on is amazing, and the automatic student input. I love both of those features. They're my 2 favorites.
Yeah, that took us a while to build. It was hard to do because the platform was not very mature yet when we've done that. But yeah, like this is there now, and it's very powerful, and I will show you why. And we also allow you to create, and we help you to create spaces based on the courses you have, and then you can actually change that. But we have the simplified wizard to create all of that, and I'll show you that too. And finally, it's fully customizable. We have so many options now. We have themes now. We are actually shipping the layout setups this week, and you will have more ways to organize your feed, and the branding and the customization. All of it is there, so you can really make it look and feel like a part of your experience, your course experience for your members. So that's about the Thinkific. Like I said, some of the benefits I just listed them. It really helps to build the engagement. It really helps to build the loyalty and keep the members here retained, to reduce churn. I think that's a big deal. And like overall, we see that it just creates more joy and more fun for the members to be around there, to feel some social presence, I guess, right? To feel the peers. That's why we call it Peerboard. We actually care a lot about the peers support and that feeling.
Exactly.
Speaking of the the tools, I won't just list them all here. We have at that point pretty much everything that Facebook has and a lot more. So we have the moderation tools we just launched last month with the Q4 post. You don't really need to worry about people posting some strange stuff there. It's all done for you with the filters. We have the very rich space management system for you. We have very rich posting and commenting functionality. You can post links to any content that will get previewed. The commenting is like real time, all very, very nicely done, very well polished at that point. And we cared a lot about this baseline experience before we start to add more things, which I will talk more about later, about what we actually want to add this year and what's coming next for Peerboard. But now at that point, it's super kind of well done, very polished. And if you have any feedback, by the way, send our way. But yeah, one other thing
take the opportunity, guys, because I know that I worked with the Peerboard team when they first started with Thinkific, and we provided feedback, and moderation was one of those feedbacks. Having moderation tools and being able to support our communities and spaces was one of those things that we reported that we needed inside that area. And student profiles, being able to give your students the opportunity to network with each other, that's actually a really valuable experience. And I know with my marketing circle members, they know each other really, really well. But, as a new member coming in, it can be quite confusing to know who's who in the zoo. So for them to be able to have that profile, for them to be able to know who they're talking to, who their fellow learners are with them, who the community is amazing. And that really helps them. And plus, my guys refer a hell of a lot of business, both Course Creator Circle and Marketing Circle. They refer a hell of a lot of business between each other because they know who they are and because they are part of that community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And actually building the richer profile and building the reputation system is definitely something we want to do that this year. We already have the profiles, but we actually want to create the sense of that the reputation and what are your strongest sides, what do you do with the community, right? So that's coming too. And then then I wanted to jump into the some of the cases. This is the testimonial from one of the largest communities we have on the platform, TJ Ed and Young Cox, and this is a great example because they have very complex space structure. And actually, I wanted to show you what they do, and they have very high kind of engagement on the platform. At some point, they were having 70 posts at a week in the community, which to me is just insane. And these are the engaged posts with the comments. So I wanted to show that and talk a little bit more about that. And also wanted to show you how you can plug in Peerboard and what does it mean to be plugged in with Peerboard in your studio. So switching to that, if you'd like me to do that now, should we?
Absolutely. Let's switch case studies. So
nice. So we'll actually start with the TJ Ad community, I guess, because it's the richest one. Let me log in quickly.
Fantastic.
Oops. This is the time where I don't remember.
I love it when I do demos and that happens to me as well.
Let me make sure. Can I stop my screen sharing for a sec so I can actually?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll do that.
I think I changed it some time ago.
We don't want that one going. Now, guys, if you've got any questions about running a community, if you've been looking at doing things, have a look at it here. Now, all the community platforms that you can work with Thinkific are amazing, but the reality of it is we want to be able to bring in some more rich conversation and rich levels of conversation. And I know that there was a number of people when we first started looking at Thinkific communities that got very frustrated with the lack of integration. And that's where I know the team in particular, the Thinkific team, went and they worked with Mikhail and his team at Peerboard really quite development and really hard to get this integration, to get it so that we would have an engaged community space that was able to be used and run. And I get lots of people sitting here, and I hear it when I hear from course creators as well that say, oh, I don't want to run a community. I don't want to have that level of access. It's about pricing the level of access to you in the right way, but it's also helping completion rates. So community where they can ask you questions and they can engage with you will help will help engagement rates along the way. And that's why we want to bring communities in. So if you want to think about communities a little bit differently, think about it about an upsell. So think about communities as an upsell to your course offering. Think about a value add. And, I talk about this quite often. You've got course only, self-paced, feel free, go ahead, do it yourself. And then you've got, course plus community or cohort or guidance. And then you might have a live course. And even if you still have a live course, I think the community and the aspect for people to come in and ask questions along the way works well, because your evergreen community-based course members might want the live version as well, and you've got a great way of being able to upsell them because your community is talking about the live events while the other people in the FOMO is kicking in. So there's all those things about why a community works, and communities, like everything else, FOMO is always there.
Absolutely. And I actually wanted to add to that. Yeah, like there is the perception that running the community is hard, but as somebody who was running it like by now twice with the Facebook platform, now with Peerboard, where we run the community too, it's like 10,000 people now. It's actually not as hard as you may think. And usually the community helps you to run the community. And the more you work on it, the better is the community, the more they help you to run it. So to me, it's hard to kickstart the community, but then with the time it actually starts to get easy and you get like into the habit of just checking it once in a while and getting your members to participate more and to report posts and to help you with the moderation. So I think, yeah, like it's not as hard as it may sound to run the community. You just need to get started.
It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen if you put the work into that community and into that space. But I think I want to bust the myth that you and I were both talking about there is you don't build a community and then all of a sudden you have 100 posts a day. That's not how communities work. Sometimes they'll be quiet for a little while, and sometimes they need a little bit of area. And for those of you who've got a Facebook group, they're going, okay, well, I want to take my community off Facebook group, or I want to do something like that. Then you can use the Facebook group or the Facebook page for its example and go, hey, in our members only area, we're talking about this today, or we're having this discussion, and you can still use it to draw people across. But yeah, it takes a bit of work to set up a community, just as it does a course. I'm not going to pretend, guys, that this is an overnight success story. Okay, let's have a look at this platform and this use case.
Yeah, so that's the TJ community, and it's running within their Thinkific course studio. What you see here is the Thinkific website, and this is the Thinkific's menu and the profile, right? That's all Thinkific, and then we leave on a page. They put the community, the discussion page here, and that's where Peerboard Experience starts. Is the plugin we create for Thinkific, and that's what you see when you open their page. And again, like the styling here and all the other things, it's fully customizable. It does have to look like that. It's their choice. For example, our community looks like that. Very different, as you can see. So it's all your choices.
You make it your own.
Yeah, you can pick the styling. So it's just this matches the styling of their community better. And what you see here again, like this, to clarify, the single sign-in is here. You don't need to log in and do anything extra. When you are logged in into Thinkific and you open the community, you just open like that. Kind of just opens your profile right away, and you can change that and just start using the community. And what you see first in the community is the community feed. You actually have search here. You can search posts and comments that actually people use a lot to find the answers to their previous questions being asked. And then you can see here the feed of all the posts. So you can see the pin posts that the admins wanted to pin to the community, and then you see all the posts from the community. And what's cool is that those posts are in the spaces, and you as the admin can actually change what are the spaces in the community and change the rules around them. And I will show you that later. But that's basically, that's what you see here, the spaces and the posts in different spaces. Some of them are private to different groups. I won't show that. This is like way too deep. Yeah, like that's what you see here. The cool thing about Thinkific kind of like integration is that, again, when you member the community, they don't need to do anything extra. They don't leave the website. They already have their data here. They already have the profile here. The course membership is already here, so you can assign them to different spaces based on the course enrollment. And it's just a super seamless experience. And we worked very, very hard to make it as seamless as possible. I think at that point, this is a differentiator. It's just very hard to compete with this level of integration and with this seamlessness we kind of created. It just gives you so many side benefits that you don't leak your audience to some other tool, some other service like Facebook, something else. You just keep it all here. You maximize your engagement within this kind of space, and that's a big deal to all of us. So that's one example. I can actually show you the space that they have, which is kind of very cool. They actually have more than 100 courses in this kind of course studio, like in this big website, right? But they didn't want to create private spaces for all of the courses, right? Sometimes people do that, but that actually works on a smaller scale. When you have 4 or 5 courses, you actually may want to create 4 or 5 private spaces, one for each course, and then through Peerboard, you don't need to do much. Your members will get access to those spaces when they enroll in a course. But then as you start to have more courses, it actually starts to make less sense to have that many spaces, just hard to navigate. So what these guys did here, they actually created just about 25, 30 spaces and made some of them private to the courses, but kind of bundled the courses into some of the spaces. So those spaces, some of them may have like up to 10 courses linked to them. So when a member joins any of those courses, he or she actually gets into the space. And that's a nice way to create this higher level areas with a
Of
wider set
integration, yeah.
of, yeah, and helps you to limit the number of spaces in the community, make it a bit more comprehensible. And then they have the public spaces here too, which is some of those. And like anybody who joins the community or who is visiting the website have access to that. So that's a very nice way to kind of to segment those areas and to have like a set of the public areas where you can hang out, post anything, and a set of private, more niche areas based again on the courses you have and that. Um, Speaking of the space, I actually will switch to our demo instance of Peerboard on Thinkific. This is the academy we run on Thinkific for us and for the demo purposes. You can actually visit it at peerboard.thinkific.com and just play with the product again. Just see what it does. We have the community button here, works the same way. We have the courses. When you open the community button, you end up being in the community on Peerboard. And that's the community we run again within our Thinkific Academy. Style very different, looks different. And what you see here is that's the admin view of the product, right? I have some extras here. So I have the admin panel and I have the space wizard, which is the tool we've built to help you import some of the courses into Peerboard and create spaces for them. So what happens when you run the wizard is actually you can see your courses here that don't have spaces yet in Peerboard, and you actually can make them the spaces. You can basically pick a course, pick who will have access to this space, all members of the community, just the students of the course, and confirm and create the new space in the community. I will skip that for now, so I don't create it. And then when you do that, you will have the space in the space list, which is, again, the panel we built to manage the spaces for you. And here you can actually change the rules in a more granular fashion. So for example, you can actually not just make it visible to the course attendees or like the members, right? You can actually change who sees the space in a much more controllable fashion. And that's what we have here. You can actually pick all the members, all the groups that we create from the courses, and also that the groups you can kind of create yourself and just assign the members to it to create those designated private areas in the community for them. And that's the structure we have, by the way, kind of like, again, right? We have public spaces here visible to all the members. We have some of the private space for the partners. We have the space for the demo course. When you enroll into the demo course, you can try that, by the way, it's easy. You will have access to the demo space, demo course space, same for the main course. And there are some subspaces for the main course, which is actually very nice. It's a nice way to create a bigger space with the rooms in it, essentially, right? Where you can have some rooms for different segments of your course and then link them to the course player. I will show you how. That's pretty cool too. So, but yeah, that's how you would usually do that for the single course. This is the single course space with the sub rooms in it for different segments of it.
Fantastic. And look, I'm loving the icons, the integration. And remember, guys, you can brand this to however you want it to look. So some of the things when we talk about setting up our communities is also, it's like a course creation plan. You need to have a bit of a plan about how your community is going to run. What topics, what discussions, are you going to open things up, community is a great place to run an ask me anything type situation. So come in, ask me your questions, open those particular areas up. Good place to update your members, good things to share different tips and tricks. I know in my communities today, I've seen some changes happen in the world of Facebook. I've seen some changes happen in the world of Instagram. So I'm about to go and do a video that will update my community and my members later on today that will help them navigate and understand what's happening. So think about the value add that you can bring by adding a community to your course. And if you're struggling with completion rates, this is the secret. I can't stress this enough. This is the secret. Now, if you're sitting there going, only 10% of my people are completing the course, chances are they just need a little hand holding. And if you think about it, you need a little hand holding, even starting with people, because we're here today talking about it. You can jump into the app, but we're here today talking about how you can use this within your business. So have a look at your customization, have a look at your setup, and just make sure that you put in those little bits of plans. And, I know that people at Board Community are amazing in being able to help you do all of those sorts of things, but think about what value can you add. Can it be a general ask me anything that you can run once a month? Can it be there to support your students when they have questions? And just think about the process of what you can do and how you can run a community using that. And being able to embed your community directly into Thinkific and create spaces based off your courses, that's amazing. So you've shown me courses. I want to know, can you do it by bundle? Can you do it by Thinkific bundle?
Yeah, I think we do support bundles now. I think we don't support bundles directly, but we actually do know if a member joins like a course through the bundles. You can actually then put them into a private group too, and we do it also. You don't need to manage the membership and all of that, which is kind of cool. I actually wanted to pause for a second the space creation. I really want to highlight that while it may seem like you need to come up with all of those spaces and all of that, it's actually the fun part, because it allows you. It's more like the toolbox. You create the space, you give a name, and then based on the name you give it, the purpose, the members may start to create content there, and you actually can see how they react to you creating the space and the name. And this has also changed the dynamic in the community. That's just a very fun thing to do. For me, it's a part of the pleasure to run the community, to create those subspaces and see where it goes. Yeah.
It's that perfect opportunity where I say, guys, you hear me talking about this all the time. Your students will tell you what they want to learn next. If you've got a community, they're going to be going, how do we do this? Or how do we do that? Or I don't understand this. And you're sitting there going, oh, it is all of this. And that's a really big thing, is about making sure that you can tap into that sort of stuff and really get the value out of it. And do all those sorts of things. But look, I love running my communities. I don't find them a bad thing. I think it's just about getting your structures in place and running it. Well, then, yeah, so I started my first community back in 2009, guys. So if I had hated running communities, I wouldn't be doing it 10 plus years later.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Yeah. And to show you, like speaking of the different course and different space, I want to show you the member groups too. So I've shown you the spaces. This is the way to segment the space in your community, and we like to do that with the member groups. And here you can actually see the different groups. We're still a work in progress, so it's like some of them are like empty and all of that. But that's basically what you have when you group your membership into subgroups. And we do the view for the course, so you don't need to do anything. You just get that all for the course you have, and then you can link those to the space, and that's how you create the private areas. But also you can use that to show the badges for the members when they join a course, and that some of the members can see what are the other members doing. I think that's very neat.
For those of you who are running memberships, and I know that I have a members only course that's created, members only area in my courses that's created for my bundle based courses for Marketing Circle. If you were looking at only doing this for a membership base or a base, you could do that very much easily from that plain course. So rather than doing a space per course, if it's only a space per membership, then you could set it up, and then I would just add the sections in talking about each one of the courses.
Yeah,
especially for memberships, guys, when you bundle, remember to keep reminding them of the value they get within the bundle. So take a lesson and discuss it in your community. In the how to market your course, for example, lesson, we've talked about these strategies. Which ones are working for you? And just keep reminding them of the value, and that's where you can really do that with community as well.
Yeah, we talked about the upsells. Not once I myself paid for the membership just to get access to the community. It's such a strong value prop. Like when you look at that, when you just post screenshots of that, it just gives you such a good sense of value there. Like lots of people sharing knowledge. This is great, right? It's a very good value add. So lastly, before I go into the details of like where it lives within Thinkific, I wanted to show you some of the products. So that's how the post looks, just so you have a sense. Again, you have the badges here that are visible, you have the content here, then you have the comments, all kind of real time, you have the badges here too, and that's the base experience, and it's very smooth. It works like a chat pretty much at that stage, and very nice. We actually just launched the notification panel too, where you can now see all the notifications from, I don't have it here, but you can see it like from all the posts you've touched. So like we just launched mentions, by the way, very cool, like the tagging, so you can tag the members now and you see who tagged you. All of this is live now, and it creates a very rich kind of experience when somebody can pull you into the conversation, you can pull some of the conversation, and it's more like the mingle area where people just share knowledge.
Absolutely, and that's huge.
Yeah. So speaking of how you can plug Peerboard into Thinkific, we have one main way now, which is the community page. And this is, I guess, the best way because this creates this designated area for all the discussions. But we also allow people to plug in different parts of the community into the course player. I wanted to show you that. So this example is of the demo course on Peerboard. And here you have different lessons, right? But you can also add the multimedia lesson. And when you do that, you can actually paste a link to any of the areas of the community. It can be a space, it can be a post, it can be the main page, it can be anything really. And what it does, it actually adds this space here. It links to this space or this area here. And again, you don't need to do any login. It's all seamless because you already are on the same website. So you just like you can just use that page, and you can comment from here. You can see the conversations here, as you see in this demo post. That's a very nice way to kind of blend the community into your course and highlight some of the areas of the community, and also give some of the peer support right through the course. And right.
And yet encourage the discussion as they're learning, but also to remember the student is not alone, to give them that feeling that they're not alone.
Yeah, this is very key. And I think, from what I remember, Thinkific has the commenting feature on the lessons, but the problem is that those comments they have in the lessons are disjointed. When you make a comment here in Peerboard's post in one of the course player sections, that actually bumps the thread now in the community too, and that links again back to the community. So that still links back to this main community dashboard, but now with the preview that is shown here. And I think this is very critical, and we'll keep adding more ways to add snippets of the community that are linked back to the community through your course player. Like at some point, we actually may want to replace the commenting feature they have. We're thinking about that. We have more tools for that now, and really just blend it in deeper into the course player. And yeah, like in this case, we have the post preview, but you can also have the space preview, for example, something like that, and like just do it right here, or like that. Do it right here in the course player for this space. We're actually working out to remove this UI from the panel. This is some of the limitations of their platform, but we actually think we have a way to make it like an even smoother experience here. So stay tuned. So that's on the playing with the course player and plugging in Peerboard into the course player. We'll be adding more ways to do that. And you can also use widgets we have, by the way. If you have your own website, you can put the feed widget, the community feed widget, or the commenting widget, or like the new post widget to your website. And again, link back to the community that way, show the preview of what's happening there. A very nice way to showcase, again, speaking of the upsells, to showcase what's happening there. And I guess lastly, I want to talk a bit more about the notifications. We actually care a lot about that. And we do have digests for the posts, and you can change the frequency, and the members can change the frequency. And those are used to show the members what's new in the community. And we also send you the notification or like about all the replies, the comments to your inbox. And we have, like as I just said, we have the notification panel now with all the mentions, the replies in one place. This really helps to bring the members back. And we will keep adding more stuff to that, because like that needs to be like your daily or like weekly snapshot of all the cool stuff that happens in the community and that happens with you and your profile. We adding more to that. This is very cool to have as another way to bring the members back.
Absolutely, and that's essential. We need to be able to bring our members back and remind them on a regular basis about what's going on in their course and what's the cool things and the cool discussions. And yes, reminding them to come through is huge. So well done. That's awesome.
Yep.
So guys,
so that's mainly, I wanted to do that as the summary of what we do with Peerboard. With this demo stand at peerboard.thinkific.com, I really can encourage you to do that. Just get into the course, play with the community, see what's up there, and give it a try. So the plugin lives in Thinkific's App Store. Linda gave a link to the page. That's the best way to find it. And I guess I will tell more about some of the perks we give at the end of the call. But yeah, we have a nice surprise for you too. Do we talk about the roadmap, or do we want to switch back to the fireside?
Sure about the roadmap. Let's show everyone what they're going to see next. It's happy that you can see what's coming, especially when we look at moving things forward. So roadmap's really cool to see. Let's have a look at the roadmap, guys. Special behind the scenes.
Nice. And we have the roadmap actually been public. You can check what we have in the community too. But I wanted to summarize. Actually, some of the stuff is live, so I will need to update the roadmap. So all of those things are live now. All of those things are live. The cool thing, I guess, like what I guess, let's start with what we don't have now. We actually do miss. We don't have one-to-one chats now, and we actually want to have one-to-one chats now. We want to give you controls, or like over who can message who, like members to members, or just to admins. So that's we're gonna go live next month or month after that. And then after that, we have a lot of things that actually add coolness to that experience. One very big piece we just started to work on is the gamification. We call it gamification, but that's a much broader set of things we want to add. And the key idea here is really to motivate your members to create value and to help others and to show them that they will be rewarded for that. So there are multiple layers of product we want to build here, starting with the badges and with the recognition of the members, and then with the leaderboards to show you what are the best members of the community, the most helpful members of the community, and then some of the higher tier kind of roles we have based on that. So this is all in works now. I won't show you the designs, but it's beautiful. It's probably the coolest piece of the product just visually, because finally we have the very beautiful badges, the list of members, and all of that. So that's one big piece. And another big piece we're working on now is the content types. We have just the base kind of post type, right? But we know now that people use posts for different use cases. They have them for the questions, for the articles, for the events. Sometimes you can use it for these events, right? And we actually want to give you more controls and more kind of building blocks to play with when you organize your community for yourself and for the members. And the post types is something we're starting to work on now too, and that's beautiful. It's shown differently, like in the feed, and it just gives you more metadata to play with around the behavior you see in the community. So that's another big piece. And then there are some of the smaller parts we have here. So speaking of the things we still don't have but plan to launch soon, are the file uploads and videos. You can now use the YouTube videos and all of that, but we don't have native uploads. This is being built now. The insights panel is built now. I'm gonna go live next month. And the mobile app, by the way, the mobile app is a big thing. We plan to launch the mobile app and the SDK. If you will have your own app, we will actually have the SDK to plug us into the app the same way you do it in Think, and we'll have the native app for if you don't want to build yours. That is as the fallback variant, right? And then that's going to go live probably October, November that year, being in the works right now. So lots of things as you see, and I guess at that point, like as I said, we have a very solid base version, but there are so many cool things we can add. So please take a look at the roadmap, stay tuned, and give us feedback. All of this stuff is, by the way, based on the feedback we got from the creators. We really, I mean, we are kind of lazy in a sense. We don't really think much. They give us all the food for thought and the thinking around what to build next. And we just need to digest that and to create the product layer. So that's exactly what we're doing here. And if you need more, just tell us. That's how you create the roadmap.
Absolutely.
So that's,
so guys,
I think that's
your opportunity to be involved in Peerboard, your opportunity to be involved in something on the platform as it starts. And look, Peerboard's been around. We were doing Amplify earlier this year, and people were part of the team that we got involved and we had a chat with. Thinkific has done some amazing things, and the integration and the ability for the team to work with you is great. The thing is, when you're working with a ground level software that's creating their integrations, working with that sort of stuff, you can get in. And I, in many years, and we test lots of software at the Course Creator Circle and business. We test on a regular basis. The opportunity to get in and say, hey, if we could have this, it would make life better for us. If we could have that, it would make life better for us. It is huge. And while you want Mikhail to think of everything, you actually don't. You want to be able to say, this is my use case, this is the reason it would work, and have the problem solved. So to have this level of access to a developer and to someone who's putting the program together is amazing. So take the opportunity while it's in front of you. Okay, so we talked about a special little offer for our members today.
Let's do it, yeah. So the thing is that we encourage you, and thanks, Linda, for bringing the audience, and we encourage you to play with Peerboard and to make you more comfortable with that. Since some of the features are on the paid plans, we actually are giving the discount for 6 months, 50% of Peerboard of all the Peerboard plans when you use it. And we actually have the free trial. We have the free plan. By the way, I didn't mention that we have the free plan. We have the free trial for the paid plans, and now you have a discount for the paid plans for 6 months, 50% to play with the product and see if that's a fit and to help you to kickstart the process, because we know that sometimes it can be helpful. So yeah, to get the discount, just email me at mikhail@peerboard.com. Just my name at peerboard.com and claim the discount. And yeah, like that's a nice way to get it going.
Fantastic. So guys, you can sign up, send Mikhail an email and let him know. You get your trial started. Get in, have a bit of a play. Now, I've played with both the free and the premium features of Peerboard. I'm telling you, you want to go premium. From
Yes.
the start, look, the free features are amazing, and it will get you started. It will get you started if you're in your course creation journey, and by all means you can get started inside of those spaces. But once you start building a community, once you start getting in there and working with your people, you'll understand that you want to be able to have more of these discussion forums and more of the information and the Peerboard has come a long way since I started with them. Their notifications, the moderation alerts, all of those things make it really, really easy. And you've got lots of opportunity to be able to build spaces, build privacy controls, build all of that sort of stuff and get started. So Peerboard is one of the many community tools that you can use with Thinkific. It is one of the ones that we recommend here at the Course Creators Circle for you to be able to get in and get started, because it is reasonably easy to implement and use. And, hey, there's enough in this course creation journey that is tough along the way. So I think we should get started with the ones that are easy. Now, Mikhail's offered you a lovely discount. I'm just going to give our members a bit of an update about what we actually have coming up over the next little while, because it's a little bit fuller. If you head to the coursecreatorscircle.com.au on the homepage, you will be able to see these events that I'm just about to run through, because they scroll down a little bit, they're all there on the homepage. Next, we're working on our member session. So our memberships and bundles, we're talking about memberships and bundles on the 14th of June. You can either be a VIP member and you've already got access, that should already be on your inbox, or you can register for that one on the website. We then have our general, that's going to be on June 14th. Then on July 12th, we've got a Q&A session, which is bring your questions to me. We will answer your questions about course creation, anything from setting up your course through to marketing. We'll go through all of those areas. We then go on August 9th, we're going on to evergreen promotional strategies to help you promote your course using evergreen marketing so that you can sort of save and forget and continue to work through. And then our next expert session is with Erin Kerr from Wobo, and she's going to show us how to use interactive and digital workbooks within our course creation journey. And that's just a little mind-blowing. It's pretty awesome too. So we are excited to be fully back in operation, fully back bringing you expert sessions here in the Course Creation Circle. Mikhail, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much for showing us what Peerboard can do. I'm hoping our community gets behind you and Peerboard and starts having a bit of a play and seeing how they can implement it into their app store. I want to once again thank you for your time. Guys, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in our next expert or next training session. Have a great day.
See you all.